Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Zelda Universe. My name is Signa Alex, and we're here today with a special guest. Hello, M. Swizzle. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for having me on the channel. I'm excited to discuss some Zelda today. Good stuff, good stuff.
We're here to talk about The Legend of Zelda from start to finish during the Switch era. That's from 2017 all the way to present day, which is 2025. And then we're going to get into what we want to see on the Switch 2 and what we think Nintendo's going to do for the Switch 2, Zelda-wise, obviously. Let's just get right into it. So we have the first release of the Zelda series on the Switch, which was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. How did you feel about Breath of the Wild from like its first unveiling to its launch?
So here's the problem with that for me. When Breath of the Wild and, Zelda for Wii U and all of this was first being talked about, being announced, being unveiled, I couldn't care less. At this point in my life, I was in, 2016-17, I was in 4th grade, believe it or not. And 4th grade, I'm just playing Wii U games. I'm playing Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, I'm playing Mario Maker, Splatoon 1. I'm just in my own world. But point is, I'm not really keeping up with announcements. So I didn't learn about this game until launch day of Switch. Like, I didn't know that it existed beforehand. I picked it up, must have been March 2019 was when I finally got to it. First ever Zelda game. As soon as I began playing and got into it, I was so upset that I did not get into any Zelda games earlier because it was so much fun. And I didn't fully know what I was doing because it was my first, Zelda game, and coming from someone who plays casual stuff like Tomodachi Life, Miitopia, I'm like in this new world. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I found it a lot of fun. I was very happy playing it, and I was addicted to it. I beat it. Must have been 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not sure if that's long or short, but I no-lifed the game. I did so much with it. And I think now looking back, I've played more Zelda games. This was a perfect step, I feel, for 3D Zelda. And just the whole franchise. I can see here on our notes, we also had the special edition. My brother got this, and I also regret not having this because this looks so. Got the CD, the carrying case, everything about it. It's dope. Breath of the Wild. I mean, we're gonna talk more, but is one of my favorite Zelda games, and I'll leave it at that. Very good 3D Zelda game. I don't have to say that. Everyone knows Breath of the Wild is a gem. What are your thoughts on it?
I was locked in with Breath of the Wild like the moment it got released. Not released, sorry. Announced, teased, and all that crap. Like I was like watching for any important news about Breath of the Wild like up until like 2014, 2015, 2016. And then you had the whole like E3 booth where they decked out in just Breath of the Wild. It's like you're in an amusement park. I'm sure you've seen pictures, but like it's like they are going big with Breath of the Wild because this was going to be a launch title for the Switch. They had to go for broke because the Wii U didn't do so great. So they needed to show the world that, hey, we're back. We are going big, and they did with Breath of the Wild. And honestly, I think it worked. It did. I know it did wonders for them. This game sold over 30 million copies as of today. This game is still selling like today. That's all you need to know about this game. I didn't like it at first, I'll be honest. I didn't like the game at first because it was different. It was like open world and exploration. Yeah, like that's great. It's just I felt like it was lacking, and it definitely was in a few places. But I think the expansion pass really helped that a lot, and it gave me more for my buck, which, I mean, yeah, you paid more for the expansion pass, but the DLC added great stuff to it. And then, like, as years went on, like during the Switch, I got more appreciation for Breath of the Wild. It's like in my top 10 Zelda games. It's like my 5th favorite Zelda game ever. I'm sure you're thinking, why not number 1? Because that's the Wind Waker. You can't beat the Wind Waker. So no, Breath of the Wild like has been in my top 5 since then, and it's a special game for me, honestly. It changed the trajectory for Zelda. It set the gold standard for all Switch games going forward, and that's not fair.
Exactly. Yeah, even like Tears of the Kingdom, heavily influenced by it, you know?
Oh, we will get to Tears of the Kingdom.
We will.
But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with Breath of the Wild. I think it made its mark. It made its permanent mark on the Zelda series and the Switch. But it's an S for me at this point. Like it's too good for its own good.
Yeah. It's tough because when I was playing it, I didn't know how good it was because I hadn't played any other Zelda game. But looking back, having played a few more since then, I would probably give it an A if you want to be specific, an A+, very close to S. But I have a Zelda game that I like a little bit more, and we'll talk about that later. But yes,
That's
I would
fair.
give it an A+.
So Breath of the Wild, I mean, we don't have to like be on this topic for forever because we already know that this game's great. It made its impact. So this isn't really a Zelda game, but it has Zelda in it. It has Link in it. We have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's basically just Mario Kart 8, but with extra stuff. Link is a playable character in the game. Yeah, he has been since the Wii U version. But not until 2018, he got his Breath of the Wild tunic and the Master Cycle Zero, which that's all I ever played, like ever since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was launched.
Mario Kart 8 is great. I stand by it. It's the best Mario Kart game of all time, in my opinion. In terms of Link, though, I don't know if I've ever even used Link. Maybe once or twice, but my main, I'm an Animal Crossing guy. I use the Villager, so I've not used too much of Link, but he does look dope riding the bike as well. The only Zelda I might have used in Mario Kart is, me stealing my brother's amiibo to scan it in and get like the Mii outfits or whatever. So that was where I was using Zelda in Mario Kart. But otherwise, I haven't really used Link. But I'm glad to see him around because it kind of means that maybe in the future Mario Kart 9 we could see more non-Mario characters come in, like Zelda herself or like anybody else from the Zelda world or even other franchises. It's a good sign. But yeah, I haven't really used Link, so I probably should more often.
Yeah. Just a quick question: who do you want to see added in Mario Kart in the next installment? It could be
Zelda related or anybody?
It could be anybody like in the Nintendo realm.
Not to stay with Zelda, but Zelda herself would be awesome. But if I had to pick somebody, I mean, this is terrible answer. No one wants to hear this, but give me some Chibi Robo in Mario Kart, dude. Imagine that. That would be great. I just like him a lot. He's a very cute character. Despite how his games are good or bad, he's a cute character. I would take him in Mario Kart.
I mean, I respect that. At least give Chibi Robo some work,
Exactly.
He hasn't had a game. He hasn't had a game since the 3DS. Oof.
He's jobless. Come on now.
Yeah. Honestly, I love to see Zelda, but I'll be honest. I'm surprised, like how much Link works. Like this Link works in Mario Kart because he looks like he fits the Mario universe. I can't see anybody fitting the Mario universe if it's not Toon Link or Toon Zelda. So I can't see Zelda like from Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom because I can't tell if it looks good or not. Because you think naturally, oh, Toon Link, Toon Zelda, because Mario's a very cartoony character,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see Captain Falcon, honestly. Like, it's unfair that he has courses in the game, but you can't play as him.
Exactly.
I was saying, like, it's so weird to have human-like characters in Mario Kart, but like, you can make him look cartoony. It's fine. He deserves it.
He does. Especially coming from a racing game himself.
Yeah. Absolutely. So honestly, I give like Mario Kart 8. I have no notes. It's the same Mario Kart game I've been playing for 11 years now. It's still good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I'm ready for a new Mario Kart game. But for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, A+ for me.
For me, I don't really use Link, but I mean, I have to say A+. There's nothing bad about it, and you added so much with the paraglider as well, and Link,
the paraglider,
and the bike. I mean, there's so much added for Zelda. I would give it A+.
And just to be clear, I'm referring to all of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like not just Link as a character.
Oh, well then I give it S.
Oh, okay.
Mario Kart 8's the best Mario Kart.
It is objectively. I mean, I like Double Dash, but this is objectively like the best way to play Mario Kart. I gave it an A throughout almost its entire lifespan, but I gave it a plus because of the booster course pass. Because that gives you more bang for your buck. So
indeed.
All right, so now we're moving on to 2018, and this is what I'm saying about the effect of Breath of the Wild. It keeps going, because remember how we say Link has his champion tunic in Mario Kart? He gets it in the next game, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Zelda has her costume as well from Breath of the Wild. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, again, like Mario Kart 8, this is the best way to play Hyrule Warriors. It's objectively the best way to play. I'm a Hyrule Warriors apologist. I will defend this game with my own life. But like it has everything you need. Like it has everything from the Wii U version, the 3DS version. It has all the costumes, all the extra story stuff, the extra modes. It's beautiful. It's a great game. I love it. It made me a Warriors fan. So how about you? What do you think about Hyrule Warriors?
It's tough for me, because I haven't sunk too much time into either of the Hyrule Warriors, this one or the Age of Calamity, which we can talk about later. But I did own Definitive Edition at one point, which sucks because I bought it physically, but I didn't love it, so I sold it. But now I think the physical is like somewhat rare, so I'm like, shoot, should have kept it. I bought it after playing Breath of the Wild, you know, back in... So this came out 2018. I played Breath of the Wild 2019, and then bought it shortly after. Bought Hyrule Warriors shortly after Breath of the Wild in 2019 to kind of, you know, keep the Zelda fix coming. But I didn't like this as much. You know, I was just content to wait until the next 3D Zelda. I don't think it's anything wrong that the game does. I think that the game is high quality itself, and it's for those who want it. But I mean, for me, casual gamers still just got introduced to Zelda. It wasn't for me, and you know, I can definitely go back and play it, and it'll probably be for me, because since then I've gotten way more into Zelda. That was 6 years ago. I think it's a matter of me needing to replay it to enjoy it, and I'm sure that I will. But just from the little blip that I played in 2019, didn't love it. But I would say for me, I've got to replay it.
Yeah, you absolutely do. This game is...
you have the physical.
This is a love letter to Zelda fans. Koei Tecmo, the company who made this game, they want you to know that they know we exist. It's basically a love letter. Like this game was being sought after Age of Calamity got announced, because people are like, oh, I gotta play this game first. You don't have to. It's just, yeah, I agree. You should play this game.
Right.
Just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it is a port. There wasn't anything really new here, because the only new thing about the Switch version is the Breath of the Wild costumes. But other than that, this game is great if you never played it before, and you definitely should play it. I give it a solid A. Like, it's fine. It's just, I'd give it a A+ if I hadn't played it before, because I've already played this game on the past consoles, and there hasn't been anything really new. It's fine. It's a solid A.
Sure. 2019 me would have given this a D, but that feels so unfair, because like that was 6 years ago. I've gotten way more into Zelda. Today me would probably give it an A, but I can't say that because I have not played it. So I guess I have to give it a undetermined, no contest. I mean, I can't, like today's rating, I can't give it anything, but 2019 me would have given it a D, but I don't.
That's fair.
I probably don't stick with that, so.
That's fair. I can see you ending up in a B just because it's a different play style than your typical Zelda games. So if you're not into hack and slash games, then it may not be for you, which it's not for everybody. So it's, if you love Zelda, this game's for you. Like this game was made for Zelda fans to enjoy the franchise as a whole, and also it looks nice. Anyway, it does, yeah. I won't really give this a formal grade because we're gonna move on to the next thing that Nintendo did for Zelda, which was bringing in Nintendo Switch Online. People were really mad about how online started because it was $20 a year. And the online wasn't great. It was free until that time. They charged everybody $20 a year for online service, and it's very conflicting. But we did get Zelda 1, we get Zelda 2, we did get A Link to the Past within a year of NSO launching. And I didn't play these, so I'm gonna pass. I'm just be like, cool, awesome. I've already played these games. So if you haven't, here, play them. But, it's like, I give it a rating of cool.
I haven't played them either. The only bits and pieces of Zelda that I've played, Zelda, like the older ones on the Switch, have been in Nintendo World Championships. Unfortunately, I've not play these Switch Online versions. I definitely should, but my backlog's just too big. These haven't been the biggest priority. I'm focused on playing more of the recent Zelda games because that's more of the talk of right now. Have not gotten to Zelda 1, 2, or A Link to the Past. But I guess I'll also give it a cool rating because it is cool stuff. There we go.
Here's the thing about the Switch: there's something for everybody, like to enjoy for the Zelda franchise. Whether you're an old school gamer or a new player, it's all here on the Switch. But yeah, so if it's there for you, if you want to play it, let's get into like the next big spin-off, which is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I love this game so much.
Very good.
I think Zelda is represented as best as it can be at this point in time. They gave every single character a fresh coat of paint, except for Toon Link. He looks the same, but still whatever. But we got Breath of the Wild Link again. Breath of the Wild Link is now the rep for Link. We got A Link to the Past Zelda. Sheik is in her Sheikah armor from Breath of the Wild. We got Ocarina of Time Ganondorf, which is amazing. We got the return of Young Link from Smash Melee, and then also Toon Link is there. He's untouched. This is like the most colorful cast of Zelda fighters in Smash that I've ever seen, and it's peak. It's peak, I'm afraid. Do I wish we had gotten more like reps from Zelda? Yes, because half of these are Link.
Yeah, you got Young Link, Toon Link, Breath of the Wild. They're all Link.
And then we got 2 Zeldas and 1 Ganondorf. I know people were wanting Impa or Skull Kid, because Skull Kid is an assist trophy still. I didn't see that changing anytime soon. Just like Waluigi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I always go with Zelda or Ganondorf because they're my favorite ones to play as. If you had to pick one, who would you pick as?
If it's life or death, I gotta beat the person. I'm going Breath of the Wild Link. But if I'm just having some fun, I might mess around with Toon Link. Toon Link, I could pick to beat somebody life or death, but I like my chances with the real Link in that situation. So Toon Link, casual play. If I gotta beat you, I'm going Breath of the Wild Link.
That's right as well. Link has a slightly changed up moveset because he uses his Sheikah Slate. Toon Link and Young Link do have the hook shot. I don't think Breath of the Wild Link has it anymore. So nerfed, unfortunately.
Indeed.
But yeah, so for Smash Bros, I really do think we're gonna get a Smash game on Switch too, because there's no way they skip that.
No way.
Who do you think from Zelda do you think would get a chance to join the Smash roster?
I think it's definitely got to be at least one of like the newer characters that we've seen in the last 2 games. Who's that lady from Tears of the Kingdom? I'm so
Pora.
Yes. You put her in the game.
That would be interesting. I can't imagine how'd she fight though, because she's not really a fighter.
Well, Peach isn't either.
True. I mean, well, no, because she does have 2 games. Like, they will incorporate her moveset from Showtime, the game from last year. If there's somebody new, it's gonna be Echo Zelda. I guarantee you. And that make it fair. Like 3 Links, 3 Zeldas. I think that's totally fair. So
yeah. Even amount.
I think we'll see that as the next rep because we don't have a Toon Zelda.
Yeah.
Because I think Toon Zelda was meant to be a playable character in Smash at one point, but they cut her out. So it's her time now.
Yeah. Toon Zelda would be amazing.
For Smash Ultimate, if you didn't count the DLC, I give it another A, but I'm giving it A+ for Smash Ultimate as a whole.
I'm in agreement. I just don't want to keep saying A+ for games that are so good, but I feel like I have to. Yeah, they are. It's very good,
I'm close to giving it an S, only because of Sora.
Oh, yeah.
It's very close to S because of Sora, because of how that history with Sora being added in was unraveled, So
yeah.
It's A+ for me.
A lot of the added fighters are awesome, but they aren't up my alley. If you added a bunch of fighters up my alley, it would be an S. But I'll go A+ too. It's a great game. You can't really give it any lower than that,
2019, we got something that nobody saw coming. This was announced during a indie showcase during Indie World, which was Cadence of Hyrule: Crypt of the Necrodancer, featuring The Legend of Zelda. That's the entire full name of the game. And I like it. I think it's really cool that an indie studio got to make a Zelda game. Like, work with the big boy Nintendo, Full disclosure, I haven't fully played this game. I've only played little bits of it, but I like it. I like the fact that it exists. The fact that somebody other than Nintendo, that they get to, try their own interpretation of Zelda. From what I've seen, like it has a lot of passion in the game. Brave Yourself Games, they knocked it out of the park with this one. How about you?
It's tough, because when this game came out, still wasn't following Nintendo super close, so this flew over my head. When I look back at Zelda, I just see all the big games, the Breath of the Wild, the Hyrule Warriors, the Link's Awakening, all this kind of stuff. I never really knew about this game until like last year, to be honest. And
Fair.
I haven't played it, but I did, while you were speaking, pull up a trailer. I'm watching this now. It looks dope, and it makes me wonder why I've not played this. This looks really good. I like how you said, an indie studio gets to get their spin on a Zelda game. I like the pixel art style, and even just seeing Link and Zelda in that style is very, very cool.
This game is an incredible deal. Like, there's DLC. This game spoils you with how much content it got. I'm biased with this game, not because I'm friends with them, but also because I know that they're excellent musicians. Jules and Adriana made music for this game. It is so good. All your favorite Zelda songs are probably in this game, and they have a rock cover. It's great. This game, I feel like, is a treasure. I thought at first this could be like the start of doing something on the regular, but this is a very rare thing to ever happen, like an indie Zelda game. It's special, so I'm giving it A- for that. It's not a playstyle I'm used to, but I like it. I like that it exists,
I haven't played it, so I can't give it a good grade, but just based on what I'm seeing, just on the looks, I would give it a B+. The reason for that is just because, although I gave, the pixel art style a compliment, a lot of those games like Stardew Valley and all that, I can't get super into because of the pixel art. It's not for me, but I like how everything else looks. It looks like it keeps a lot of Zelda elements intact, just in a different style game. So I'd go B+, just based on looking at it. I've never played it.
Let's go ahead and move over to the Link's Awakening remake on Switch. This is our next major Zelda game release. It got a lot of attention, a lot of marketing from Nintendo. It had a full-blown model stand at E3 that year. The last E3 in person too.
Yeah.
And they decked out with Link's Awakening. It felt like literally a dream because the whole I didn't really appreciate Link's Awakening before this game's announcement on Switch, but now that I played this game in full, this game is special. It has a great story. It's a traditional 2D Zelda game in full bloom. This game is for you if you want a classic Zelda experience. I don't really care that this game looks cartoony, even more cartoony than the Wind Waker. It fits. It fits the game's aesthetics. And also you got the cute little Link amiibo as well. Come on, he's adorable. He's a little guy. I'm impressed how this game is exactly a 1-for-1 remake. It plays exactly like Link's Awakening does on the Game Boy. There's nothing new here except for the dungeon maker feature in Dante's little part of the map. It's okay. It's not really for me. I think they're just experimenting with a dungeon design feature that just felt like an afterthought to me. So that won't really take away from the game because the game itself is great.
Great game indeed. I think this was one of the best Zelda games that you could remake at the time. I think it was just a perfect choice. I like the amiibo that also came out with it. I bought that. Long story short, let's just say at one point in time when I owned it, its head came off.
Oh, no.
So that happened. Link's Awakening itself, phenomenal. I have a hard time diving into things because I don't like to spoil things. But if you're looking for the nice cartoony Zelda game, I feel like this is even good for beginners too. You don't want to throw yourself into Breath of the Wild maybe. I feel like this is a good little beginner game. I like it a lot. I don't think I rolled credits unfortunately, but I've gotten through a lot of it. Just about rolled credits. I hate giving all these games good grades, but they're just so good. What can you do?
It's peak, I'm afraid.
If we're comparing it to the previous, games that we talked about, I'd probably give it a A-.
That's fair. That's fair. It is a 1-for-1 remake of Link's Awakening from the original and the DX version. It plays the exact same way. The biggest change is how glossy and how clean it looks. I think it's fine. I give it A- as well. It's just borderline A- going into B+. It's good. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I gotta be a little harsh on some of these ratings, but also I can't knock down it too much because they went pretty hard on the marketing too. Because you got this cute little keychain of Link from E3, and also you got this cool pin set of all of the instruments from the game from PAX.
That's awesome.
I think because like it got a taste of the marketing like push that Breath of the Wild got, and it worked because this game sold 6 million copies.
The only knock I can give this is I'm not sure if they fixed this or not, but the game did have a couple of performance issues, a few frame drops here and there. That shouldn't happen. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't really notice them, but I know people have pointed it out. But it didn't ruin the experience for me.
No, yeah, it didn't ruin things, but it shouldn't really be there, I feel, you know?
Absolutely fair. So, 2020, interesting year. We got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This came out of nowhere. And then it came out 2 months after it was announced. That was like the most unheard of thing from Nintendo. Like, are you serious? I have mixed feelings about Age of Calamity. This is where I'm going to be a little harsher here because I wasn't the only person who thought this, but everybody thought that this game was supposed to be a prequel to Breath of the Wild based on its announcement. Experienced a story from 100 years ago before the events of Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. How else are you supposed to interpret that?
Right.
Other than being called a prequel? Spoiler alert, it's not a prequel. This is a spin-off game. It's unapologetically a spin-off game in its finest. It's still fine as a game, but there's issues with it. Spoil. Are you muted? Are you skipping the video? Cool. Done. Awesome. This game is set in an alternate universe because the little robot guy goes back in time to try to fix everything that happens in Breath of the Wild. And this is the result. Age of Clams. It's basically a successor to the first Hyrule Warriors game. I think it's fine. The story is interesting. I will say though, like once you take away the fact that it's not a prequel, it's its own story, it's fine. I was a little miffed about how things happened in the game, which I won't go too far into spoiler territory. From what I can say, the game plays pretty well. Like it's a okay, well, now that I say that, I'm lying because the game has really bad frame rate issues. worse than Link's Awakening. It's very choppy. It tries to play at 30 frames per second. I'm not gonna diss it that hard because of that issue, but it's noticeable, even as a casual player. I want to love it more, but I feel like we got let down a little bit here because of how they marketed the game. But I feel like that's on the fans and me included for thinking that we're gonna get like a really cool story of like seeing how all the champions fell, how Link fell. Like it's like actually these characters that you know about, it happens this way instead. And like,
yep,
it's cool, whatever. I'm done.
After Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, you know me, man. This is only a year later after I played it. I'm staying far away from Hyrule Warriors games. But I will say, the most enjoyment that I got out of this game was looking up on YouTube Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity all cutscenes and just watching things that look like they're made out of Breath of the Wild. Like that was enjoyment for me. But another Hyrule Warriors game, listen, I need to go and replay them. At the time, it wasn't really for me, but I know people are probably sick and tired of me saying, I didn't play that game. Everything after this, all the main stuff I've played, so I can talk about everything after this. This is kind of when I began getting like really into Zelda, especially the year after this. In terms of the game itself, I can't give much thought apart from the cutscenes, which are awesome. And if you enjoyed Breath of the Wild, I feel like even just watching those cutscenes it's fun. Yeah. It's very fun to see more happening there. Didn't play it, but off the cutscenes, off of what I can grade, I hate giving every game an A, but it's just like, how do you not? I'm gonna go with, let's go A-. Because, I mean, as you were saying, I feel like I expected more than I got.
Well, I think you'll be surprised to hear, despite how much I like the story, the characters, and all that in this game, like that's the one saving grace for me about this game. This game, for me, is a B. It's a B. It's lower than the original Hyrule Warriors. It leaves a lot to be desired for me, and I kind of wanted to see more. It's fine. It's still great, but it's an age-up calamity for me.
Yeah.
I will still defend the Wild era like story, the characters, but B's not bad. B's fine. It's just I wanted more, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
DLC's fine. It took me tooth and nail to get that Guardian to play as, because this game's mean to you sometimes. You're able to get the Master Cycle in this game too. I go through the whole DLC of Breath of the Wild to get the Master Cycle and for Link to use it. And I do the same thing in this game, only for Zelda to use it. I'm not complaining. I think she looks great on the motorcycle, but like, she's like, oh, thank you. I wanted a bike. I'm like, but I worked hard to get this bike. Thank you. And I'm like, okay. And then I don't really understand why they didn't give Robbie and Pora both individual play styles, because they both work as one unit as a fighter. I was like, whatever. I don't really care at this point, because at this point, people stop playing this game after a while. I mean, it's fine. The game's fine. If you don't like Warriors games, or if you don't like the Wild era like games, this game will not be for you. 2021, Zelda's 35th anniversary. Surely we're gonna have a big blowout of big releases and all that. Surely, don't get your hopes up for this one. I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't too big, but we still got some cool stuff.
Well, hang on a minute.
What's up?
Read that first game that we got.
Oh, Skyward Sword HD?
So, sorry to take over, but I will.
Please.
Skyward Sword, this release, is my favorite Zelda of all time.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'll just go ahead and take over here because I have a lot to say. Before the game came out, I barely even knew that this game existed. I was still a very soft Zelda fan, had only played Breath of the Wild, dipped in Hyrule Warriors, not much there. I got Skyward Sword HD because this is when I was getting more into Nintendo, and I heard a lot, a lot of hype around this game, even though there might not have been that much. I was just hearing people that were excited about it. Some streamers that I followed were buying this. I'm like, yeah, I'm all in. So I go to Target close to launch day, not on launch day, and I buy the game, and I go home and I play it, and it's phenomenal. I will preface by saying this is a weird game to call your favorite Zelda game. I feel like, for me, I have a lot of like Wii nostalgia, and for games that are made during that era, so this could be part of that talking. But this just had everything set up great. I like all of the characters, the companion, Fi. Is it Fi or Fi? You're a Zelda expert. Do you know Fi? Okay. Fi. I always said Fi, but when I say that, people are like, it's Fi. So I'm gonna say Fi for this video. I like the characters. I like Fi. It's hard to remember because I played it 4 years ago. Girahim, is that his name?
Girahim, yeah.
Those battles were awesome, and there were 3 of them. I believe. I was like, when is this gonna end? And getting to the final boss was tricky for me a little bit, but it was definitely rewarding. Skyward Sword HD, I think, was just the most fun time, and the music, the soundtrack is banging, and the whole loft wing, which I forgot about, of him flying, and that's how you go to your destination. That's all good too. I can't say enough good stuff. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I did buy the amiibo later on. There it is right there. Good amiibo, but I feel like it doesn't really do much in the game, so that's a little bit disappointing. I went back and bought the CD for it from the Wii. It's good stuff, man. I want to hear your thoughts though.
The first thing about this amiibo, people were being very upset about the fact that this was $25.
Crazy.
And for good reason. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. I still am a Zelda shill, so I will buy this full price, and I surely did. But now people bought this for like $5 during a clearance sale at GameStop, and like now I feel silly.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my thoughts about Skyward Sword. So this game first came out on the Wii. 2011 is like the very end of the Wii's life cycle. I was 18 years old when that game came out.
I was 4.
Oh my god. So I'm sure you've seen glimpses of the game at some point at that age.
I actually didn't. Nowhere. Well, if I did, I forget.
I got the game like at launch on the Wii, and I played through the first part of the game. Like I got through Skyloft, I went down to the surface. I stopped midway in the first dungeon, and I never picked it up ever again until this game. This game, yeah. Because I wasn't a fan of the motion controls. And the only reason why I'm giving the Switch version a lot of like praise is because they listened to the fans like me who don't like motion controls, and they gave us both motion controls and traditional controls. It was a little tricky to learn at first, but it worked for me. I'm glad that they have that accessibility for me who are like not very like, crazy about motion controls. So
Right.
for me, I am glad that this game was given life on the Switch because it desperately needed it. This was treated as Zelda's 25th anniversary game, and then now 35th anniversary game. They were like pushing this game, like, please play this game. I played through the whole thing. This game's great. I love it. It's a little too linear for my liking, but I don't care too much about that to give a bad rating. I'm already engrossed by the game because of the characters, the story. This is the best story in all of Zelda. I'm gonna stand on that hill.
I agree.
I'm gonna die on this hill by saying that because I cried 3 times at the very end of this game because of Fi, because of Impa, because of the old woman, and actually, and 4 times because of how the game ends with Link and Zelda just like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like throughout this entire game, I'm like, I'm playing this game because I want Link and Zelda to get together and be happy, and they get that in the end. And I feel like this feels like the experience I've always wanted in a Zelda game, a story that I'm involved in, and that comes to a happy conclusion. For me, this game is like a solid A. Solid A.
I gotta go S. I mean, you even went into like
Dang.
the weeds of things that I forgot about. Like, I went very surface level. Just you saying all that was like, it's all coming back to me. I have to go S. I have to go S.
For me, I just because of my complicated relationship with the game for the past, oh my god, almost 15 years now.
It's good that you played this version though, because that Wii version had that save data glitch. So
oh really? Oh
they
yeah.
fixed it. Remember that?
I don't remember that actually. No, but like, it's a good thing I did it because I probably would have been pissed off.
There's like a, if you save or you talk to like the wrong person, there's some weird glitch where I think corrupts your save data, and Nintendo put out a whole Wii channel that fixes your save data. If you check your Wii right now, the whole shop is closed, but that channel is still on there. You can download it for people still playing the game 15 years later. It's crazy. But yeah, Switch fixed it.
I probably completely forgot about that because I didn't even bother playing further than like the first 5 hours.
Yeah.
I legit said this to myself, like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go back and play Wind Waker. I'm just like, at least Wind Waker won't make me upset with the motion controls. And also we had this one thing too about Skyward Sword. They had these cool little Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah.
I have never opened them, but I still have the box with them inside, and I'm like, hey, they're pretty cool. I mean, if at this point you won't see these in shops.
That's a collector's item right there.
It is now. So I won't dive too much into this too. We had the Game & Watch Zelda like little handheld that came out in November of 2021. It's fine. It's basically just, hey, it's the anniversary year. Here you go. Give us money.
It's nothing groundbreaking, but it is a cool little anniversary collector's item sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it does have another way to play Link's Awakening, which there you go.
That is cool, yeah. If it's like your favorite game or something, that's dope.
I'm gonna treat this the same way I do with NSO and just give it a cool. It's like, it's cool. It really is.
It's cool.
It's just not for me. I mean, it is for me because I bought it, but it's just a cool for me. Anyway, and then we get into another controversy with NSO, Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack. Oh boy. Yeah. I'm very iffy about this. I'm still a shill because I still got the family pack with the expansion. It got Ocarina of Time on it, which people have been dying for years. We got Majora's Mask a couple months later. I played both. I've already played them before. Nothing new. It's also a cool rating for me. I think the biggest thing people will not like stop talking about is the fact that it's $50 a year for the expansion. I think back then it was a ripoff, but I think now it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Here's what I think. I hear that a lot, that Switch Online is a scam and everything, but $50 a year, 10 to 12 months, $4 a month for all that. I mean, it's still a lot better than like what PlayStation or Xbox have to offer, I mean, like price-wise, it's a lot cheaper than Xbox or PlayStation.
At least at least the fact that they know that the value needs to match, the content. I can't argue with 50 now, because now we got N64, we got the Genesis, we got the DLC from Mario Kart, Splatoon,
So
and Animal
much.
Crossing. Like, you're getting a lot for your buck now. I know I'm a shill, I'm sorry, but the content does match the price now. Back then, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. It's cool for me. I just, it's whatever. I'm a shill because I had the family plan.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, this is a very short segue because 2022, there wasn't a lot of news because Breath of the Wild 2 just got delayed to 2023, and that's pretty much all we had that year, except for Majora's Mask on NSO. Yeah, it was a pretty quiet year.
The only thing I can remember here, because this is when I was kind of following Nintendo a little bit more, was I remember this September of 2022, we were supposed to get, I mean, there were rumors, people leaking things. We were supposed to get Wind Waker remake, Twilight Princess. Like, there were big rumors for that direct, and none of it happened. It was easy to believe, though, just because it made so much sense. There's usually Zelda every year. We've covered every single year of Switch. There's been Zelda every single year. 2022 didn't really have much.
I think a lot of people were coping so hard with the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess released on Switch because people believe the journalists or like the insiders, and I'm like, you gotta take that with a grain of salt because they hear things. It's a game of telephone in this industry. Things will change constantly. Do not believe everything you read on the internet. Oh my god, the internet lies. Crazy concept. We'll skip to 2023. We get NSO expansion pack with the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. I think this is where it definitely adds more value because you had Link's Awakening DX, you had the Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages and Seasons, and Link to the Past, plus 4 swords, all added within a year and a half from that point. That's cool. It's also another cool rating because it has the Minish Cap, my favorite 2D Zelda game ever. So yeah, I think that's cool.
This really solidified the expansion pack for me. Once they had the Game Boy Advance, I was like, okay. I'm sure it was worth it before then with just, the N64 and the Genesis and all the DLC. But this is like, okay, I'm actually going to buy it. So I did buy it around then. It became worth it here. Haven't touched too many of the Zelda games in specific. I more so bought it for the N64 stuff. Some of the Game Boy Advance, like the Mario Karts and, things like that. But I think this just makes it all the more solid. And if they bring over Switch Online to Switch 2, these games will always be there. Solid games to have on there.
It's a cool rating for me because, it's Zelda on NSO. That's as straightforward as you're gonna get with this release.
Yeah.
So let's get into the big boy. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was the big 2023 release. This game had so much hype ever since 2019 with the E3 teaser. Everybody lost their marbles. I lost my marbles with just the teaser of the sequel to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is now in development. And I'm like, those words alone kept people's hopes and energy and excitement alive for 4 years. 4 years. And then we got a trailer drop in 2022, and then the name drop reveal, and then we got the final trailer in April of the next year. We got the big reveal of Ganondorf, and I'm like, oh my god, he's back. It's like everybody's just like so excited. I was excited. Like, this is like the big release of like the sequel to the biggest game in the series since the launch of the Switch. And it released.
Yeah, they did
released.
such a good job of hyping up the game beforehand. All the trailers, like, bro, I was all in on Tears of the Kingdom. It was great.
I think something that got people startled with the lead up to the game was this game cost $70.
Yep.
$70 for this game, and people were going on in a panic because they thought, oh, this is the start of Zelda games or Switch games costing $70 now.
Yeah.
No one's saying that. But because of how much this game sold, 20 plus million copies as of today, I think the people at Nintendo are thinking, maybe we can start selling our games for $70 now because they bought this. But I don't know. I don't think they will because Echoes of Wisdom is also $60. So I think we're okay. Back to like the game itself though, it's fine. I feel bad for saying it. The game running the way it is a miracle though. I will give points to the game for having a technical, spectacle performance. This game is insanely well made with the fusing, with the merging through walls, the ultra hand stuff. You can like make a giant robot, a helicopter. I think that's awesome.
Yep.
I just don't care for that stuff. I'm sorry. But
That
like
for me like made the game. It like made it different
Sure.
from the Wild because I was worried
Sure.
it'd be too similar, you know?
all I was focused about was, again, because the same problem I had with Age of Calamity was the story, the characters I still get to see in this game and see what happens with them. But it all felt formulaic. It felt like I was playing Breath of the Wild all over again, just with a different, coat of paint.
Yeah.
Nothing was different except for the story from the memory cutscenes, which again they took from Breath of the Wild. I'm just like, I don't like the fact that I don't get to be involved with the story like Skyward Sword. Remember? That's why I love that game. This game, I get to watch it like on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like
great.
all memory cutscenes. I just hate the fact that it acts and breathes the same way as Breath of the Wild.
I had very high hopes for the game, got it at midnight, got the collector's edition, which we can get into, all the special goodies that came out. There it is right there. I played it and I was in heaven. Now, the only things I could knock it for or give it crap for is the first thing I noticed, I needed this game to be different from Breath of the Wild while still being a sequel. I wanted it to improve things, and it certainly did with all the fuse and everything, but right off the bat, and such a small detail, but like with the sound effects being the same and like the whole layout being the same, I'm like, this is really gonna be just like a full-on copy and paste, not in terms of the game, but like the layout. I am looking for the small details. I'm looking for the freshness that it brings. Didn't have that, but the story itself, I felt, this might be kind of controversial, I don't know, was a little bit deeper than the Breath of the Wild one. I felt like the final boss battle had more to it. In Breath of the Wild, you kind of just show up, make your way, and you're kind of fighting the boss. And Tears of the Kingdom, I don't want to spoil things, but you have a little bit before you actually get in to fighting Ganondorf. I think it was a perfect sequel to Breath of the Wild. I would probably pick Tears of the Kingdom over Breath of the Wild. I liked it a lot more, and I don't want to spoil anything else, but that's where I stand. That's where I stand.
That's totally fair. The story is way more interesting in Tears of the Kingdom because, like, in Breath of the Wild, like, you're basically just kind of like told everything at the beginning, and then you just piece it all together. I'm very conflicted because I go back and forth thinking which one would I prefer the most, and it's tricky because I feel like this has more for you, and I think the price is worth it because of how much content they put in here. This though felt like an experience for me. I played this game on the Wii U first, and then the Switch. I think I have more attachment to this game than this game. This feels like the game. This feels like the extra content, basically.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it DLC because people are gonna get pissed off.
But it's just more of the game, right?
It's Breath of the Wild Part 2, basically.
Yeah,
and that's fine. It's a sequel. It does what they advertise. The devs for the game put a lot of their time into this game. It shows how the mechanics play out. That's awesome. I hope they do that with the next game and make it better. For Tears of the Kingdom, say an A for me. I still feel like I'm being a shill by grading it so high, even though I'm knocking it. But I think A- where I land.
I wouldn't even call it being a shill because these games are just really good. I don't think anybody gives Tears of the Kingdom lower than, well, I shouldn't say anybody, but most people wouldn't give it below an A if I'm being honest. I mean, it's that good. I personally would probably give it an A+. I just think it was better than Breath of the Wild. So I'd go A or something for Breath of the Wild, A+ for Tears of the Kingdom. Tears, they're very close together, but I think Tears might have just surpassed it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we get into our last major release for Zelda, which I think, again, nobody saw coming. Maybe a remake, but we got a full-on another new Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom. This gave me hope that Zelda is in good hands, especially in the 2D side of their releases, because this game was made by Grezzo, which also made the remake for Link's Awakening, and then they also did remakes for Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and they also did Triforce Heroes, which we don't talk about. But they got to make their first Zelda game since Triforce Heroes. This tells me that Zelda is going in the right direction with storytelling and and gameplay. This gave me hope that we're going to see some cool new games for Zelda on the Switch too. So Echoes of Wisdom, I love a lot. It's an A plus for me. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a shill, but A plus. This game's fun.
It's one of those games that you can solve the puzzles and everything, but you know, with the echoes, I feel like I'm doing everything wrong. Like I have to get up to a platform and I use like 5 trampolines as opposed to whatever way I'm trying to do it. You know what I'm supposed to do, right? So that's always fun for me, the creativity element. The only knock, you know, I didn't sink into this game the same way that I did Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and maybe I shouldn't because it's a 2D Zelda game. It's very different. I just didn't get into it as much. I felt like it was a little bit, and just a little bit, because it is very creative. I felt like it was a little bit repetitive. I feel like a lot of things are solved the same way. You know, I find myself in multiple times per game session getting to places by putting beds, and very small nitpick, I don't like how to swap between echoes, you have to use that long menu and just spam the D-pad. Things like there had to be a better way to make that work, you know? That's a nitpick compared to the whole game itself, so that's not why I'm knocking it. But, you know, just things that I notice. It's a good game, great game, maybe not as much for me. I find myself going somewhere around B+, A-.
That's fair, honestly. I might be too kind to this game, but like I still stand by an A+ just because I feel like this was a breath of fresh air to like have a new 2D Zelda game show its presence, be like, hey, we still exist, we're still making them, and we have a great company that is making them too. I also don't like the long menu UI for all the echoes, because like I'm sure there was a better way off. I'm sure there
has to be.
I think for me, because why I'm so eager about this game is because there's a moment later in the game, I won't spoil, that made me like do the pointing meme, like, oh my god, oh my god, and like
the story's great.
Yeah, I think it's great. A+ for me. I won't go back on that. I think this is a good sign of things to come, basically. I think that's the whole purpose of this game. It's like, there's good things coming for Zelda. That was all the major Zelda releases on Nintendo. And going back on them, we had 3 new games. We had a remake, a remaster, and like 3 spin-offs. And I think that's pretty great for Zelda fans. I don't think fans realize that we are absolutely spoiled by Nintendo.
Like almost every single year, aside from 2022, you had something Zelda, and usually it was more rather than less. You know, I can say every year had Zelda, but you know, maybe one year had just Switch Online games. That wasn't even the case. I believe every single year had something big for Zelda. Plus, you had the 35th anniversary. When you look back at the entire Switch's life, you see the Game & Watch came out during that time, and Skyward Sword HD. I think Zelda on the Switch as a whole was about as good as it could be. You had a lot of good things coming out, a lot of not just remakes, but remakes that people wanted for a long time. The new games were great, spin-offs cool. The only thing I can knock is, man, how did we not get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and some sort of remaster? Now, I won't complain because what we got was good, but that's something I feel that we should have gotten at some point in time.
That may have been the intention, but I think because of 2020 kind of like tossing a wrench in everyone's plans, I think maybe they just chose to hold off. But I have a theory, which I'll get into pretty soon. I think for what we got, the Switch is the Zelda system to this day. It's close to beating the Wii U and 3DS because those 2 consoles still have games on those that the Switch doesn't have. So unless you count all 3 of them, then yes, you have the Zelda systems. But I want as many Zelda games on Switch systems as possible, which, getting into that, 2025 and onward, we have the Switch 2 Direct coming out on April 2nd, which is only a couple more weeks away. I guarantee you we won't just see the Switch being revealed in its full glory. We'll get some teasers for some games, maybe Zelda games, or a Zelda game possibly, because we know Mario Kart's coming. If this is anything like the Switch 1 when it had its full-blown presentation in 2017, they'll tease some games here. So I want to talk about what Zelda games we want to see on Switch 2, and that can also account for games that we don't have yet. Because remember, Switch 1 games will be compatible on Switch 2. I guarantee you all Zelda games we have now will already be playable on Switch 2, so I don't think we'll see re-releases like at all.
Now, this is tough because, last year and then the year before, you already exhausted. You give us a new 3D Zelda and a new 2D Zelda. So I don't know what they've got cooking for the first year. This first year, the second year might be sort of dry in terms of new Zelda because you just gave us your best 2D Zelda, 3D Zelda. I think we definitely see a brand new 3D Zelda. I only lean towards seeing one new 3D Zelda just because we got the new one 2 years ago. Let's assume that Switch 2 goes until 2032, a 7-year console life. The Switch had 8-year life, I believe. So let's say 7 for Switch 2. Could be less, could be more. 7. I don't think they release the next 3D Zelda until at the earliest 2028. But honestly, I lean towards 2029. You need those years to make the game, and plus, Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom was 6 years. So 6 years from 23, when they dropped Tears, would be 2029. So I think you probably won't see a 3D Zelda until then, and then that's even towards the end of the Switch 2's lifetime. But I think that's where you see your 3D Zelda slot in here. For 2D Zelda, that could come a little bit sooner. I think that you could see that in like 27, if they really hurry up, you could see it then. But then, of course, you're gonna have Zelda mostly every year. I could see 2025 having remasters. I could see this being the year for Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. And honestly, I would just choose one of those, not both of those in the same year, because you gotta kind of space things out here. What if you did Wind Waker this year, Twilight Princess next year, then the year after that, a new 2D Zelda? Of course, you'll also maybe have a Hyrule Warriors game, or just something else that we've not seen before on Switch 2. Because these first few years, you're not gonna get, as I was saying, the big Zelda games. You're gonna most likely get a spin-off because they just gave us new ones. So yeah, I think early on could be a little bit dry for Zelda remasters, spin-offs, but later on things will heat up.
Yeah, I shared the same feelings, honestly, everything you said. I'm gonna just like dive a little deeper into what I think we'll see. So here's the thing. I do think Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are just sitting somewhere at Nintendo right now, just waiting to be released.
I agree.
I think we'll see remakes, ports, remasters, whatever first before we ever get the next new Zelda game like revealed in some way. Because also next year is Zelda's 40th anniversary for 2026. You will definitely see at least one Zelda game come out next year. So I think this year they'll announce something and then we'll get that released next year. I don't think we're gonna get anything new for sure yet, just yet. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, obvious answer. Yeah, we need them, Nintendo, please. We beg of you. But I think those are going to be Switch 1 games, but they can be played on Switch 2. They won't be Switch 2 exclusive. I think they'll be on Switch 1 because remember, we have 150 plus million units sold for the Switch. They want to still like give something to that, user base versus the Switch 2 that's just starting out. 2025, 26, and 27, I think are going to be like the last few years of the Switch. Maybe not 27. I feel like that by that point, Switch is like going to be officially like done with new releases. We're still going to be in that wave of Switch games where we get remake, remaster, and then they segue into Switch 2 full time. I want Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks to have a second life on Switch or Switch 2, and I don't think we're gonna see DS games on NSO. I think it's a little tricky if you don't have dual screens. It's possible if you remake it. I think that they would do better as a reimagining or a remaster, so that they change up the control styles, so you're not using the touch screen. They're not the best games. They're very low rated on my list personally, but I feel like it has a chance to be better if they just like give it, a clean, nice coat of paint, I did write on here that if we do get DS games, they're only going to be released in Japan and not the US.
Like for the Switch 2?
For the Switch 2.
They have to release everywhere.
On NSO, I mean. On NSO.
Okay.
They will not remake those games. They'll port them, sure, but they will not be on the English servers. They'll only be in Japanese. Because
the Tingle games.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, North America does not like Tingle at all. So Japan loves Tingle. So those three games they'll get, just like Earthbound.
Yeah.
Don't expect the CDI games, no.
Squadala, we are off.
The only thing that I could see is they did port, they brought over that Starfish game, Starfy or whatever, to the US, and that was all in Japanese, but they just put it in the US like, hey, here you go, figure it out. They could do that.
Absolutely could, but there's still the problem of the dual screens. And also there's that other ones again that nobody's played, which is Four Swords Adventures.
Oh yeah, I have that on my, wait a minute. Which console is that for?
The GameCube.
Isn't there a DS thing? What am I thinking of?
Yes. Four Swords Anniversary Edition.
Okay, there you go. I have that.
That was on the DSiWare, which is playable now on NSO, which is really cool.
Okay.
But yeah, but the Adventures version of the game on the GameCube, it's sold under 1 million copies. No one's played it. The only way it'll come back is if it's a port on a GameCube NSO, which I don't think is happening either. I think we're going to get full-on remakes, remasters of GameCube games like we have for the Switch. They're not putting GameCube on it, so I don't mean to be a negative Nancy. You had to look at the pattern on how they've released games recently. GameCube game has been remastered or remade and put on Switch for $40 or $60. You're gonna get the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess $60 each, not bundled. I don't know why people are thinking it's gonna get bundled. They're losing money if they bundle it together.
Yeah, they aren't going to do that. And I feel like if you did do GameCube on the Switch Online, you can't, because all the games that should be on there, your Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, your Pikmin 1, your Pikmin 2, we already have these in full remasters for $60. Paper Mario is a full-on remake, so, you know, maybe they can justify just putting the default GameCube version on there. But I think that they've chosen what path they want to go down with GameCube games. It will not be on Switch Online. And even they made these for the Switch 1, you can still play them on Switch 2. It's like, you're still going to have your GameCube remasters on the next console. I don't think GameCube Switch Online ever is going to happen.
I want to be surprised. I really do, because supposedly Switch 2 is more powerful and just as powerful as a PS4. So who knows? I would love to see Switch 2 have GameCube NSO games, but I'm not betting my money on that at this point. I would love it, yes. This is a prediction, by the way. I'm predicting that we're not going to see it. I hope I'm wrong. I want to quickly get into one last thing, which is my prediction for new Zelda for Switch 2. I know we'll see a new 2D Zelda made by Grezzo because they're the kings of 2D Zelda right now, and I'm happy about that. I think for the next mainline Zelda, we already know this for a fact because they've talked about it in interviews. The Zelda team is moving forward doing the open world like style for 3D Zelda. Breath of the Wild, 30 plus million. Tears of the Kingdom, 20 plus million. They're going to continue that style. I know that they listen to the fans and the journalists and the critics and all of that and how to improve Zelda in the next installment. I hope it's not the same as the Wild games because we already explored the land, the depths, the sky. I think it'll be super cool if the next main Zelda game in 3D hypes people up by showing a teaser of exploring the oceans again.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I can see fans freaking out over seeing the ocean and like, Wind Waker, Wind Waker! Because like, we've been raving about wanting Wind Waker on Switch for so long. Do it with the Breath of the Wild, like, you know, style. Because it's the same open world style. It's different. It's a different Zelda. It's different Hyrule, or maybe not Hyrule. I don't know. But I want to explore the oceans like I did in the Wind Waker, but on a grander scale. They could have done so much because they cut back so much from the Wind Waker originally. There's room to do more. So I think that is my prediction for the next main Zelda game, is a open world ocean type exploration Zelda game. That'd be really cool for me.
Endless ocean, but Zelda. Book it. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I would love to do an underwater exploration too. That'd be kind of cool as well.
For 3D Zelda on Switch 2, you can make the game whatever. You know, I trust them fully. My biggest thing is just, do I really have to wait until 2029? I mean, like, that's just what I'm guessing because it's, you know, they released the last one in 2023, 6 years. That's just so far away. In terms of the game, I don't have anything that I want. I've not been following enough to really know what direction they might take things, and nobody knows that, but I'm just hoping for a game not too far away from Tears of the Kingdom and, you know, Breath of the Wild. I'm hoping for something kind of similar, but also that has its own identity. I don't need the same art style or anything, and I hope it comes sooner than I would like it to.
Yeah. I'm going to predict 2028, just to be on the safe side. I think it won't be too long, because I feel like that's enough time in between like the last major 3D Zelda game, but because unfortunately though 2029 does sound pretty reasonable, but I have hope. I have hope and I have cope.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to like cover before we wrap up?
I believe we covered everything. I mean, we did a great job, and you did a great job covering all the notes and everything. I feel like we got everything, you know?
Awesome. Cool. And you as well. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Please let us know in the comments what you thought about Zelda over the Switch's lifetime. What was your favorite Zelda game? If you did agree or disagree with either me or Max, please by all means go to the comments and we'll fight you down there or agree with you. I don't know. Anyway, Max, I appreciate you being on here today with me to talk about Zelda. And also, Max, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, they can find me on YouTube, which is where I do all my main stuff. MSwizzle, EMSWIZZLE is where you can find me. Otherwise, Twitter, Instagram, anything else, just feel free to put MSwizzle in there. My handle varies across media platforms because people seem to take the name MSwizzle before I get there, so my handle varies online, but just type in MSwizzle and you'll find me there.
Right. Awesome. So, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later.